I got this right here. Because I'm going to try not to get emotional. So I'm gonna this maybe will keep me from doing that. I can't read this thing at the end without ever getting emotional, but I'm going to try to make it through it. The thing we got to do, though, we got to get to the end. That's my problem, is getting to the end. I get caught up in the middle so much. Hey, you got it? You're a lifesaver, brother. I appreciate it. Andy, I got one. Got this. We're going to talk about this coin. This little coin is quite remarkable. There's a lot of magic in this coin. I'm not trying to sell this coin, but I would get one. I don't know how much they cost. We're going to have a discussion about this coin. Oh, all right. I can control these. This is cool. All right, I got that. Go back. I'm just checking to make sure this all works. There we go. Look at this question, and let's think about it. But while you're thinking about it, and I've got an answer. I'm sure you've got an answer. But I want to tell you a story about 2010. I was down in Wilmington, North Carolina, giving a talk on generational gaps. Because I'm a sociologist by trade, and people hire me to go talk about stuff like that. And Andy's lawyer, Derek Steed, was there, and he saw me, and he came back, and he made the introduction so that Andy and I could start working together. If I hadn't chose, I was feeling poorly that day, and I didn't want to go because it's a good little drive down there. But I decided to go, and isn't it funny when you decide to go someplace, it can change your life? I wouldn't be here in front of you fine people today if I hadn't gone to Wilmington, North Carolina. And me and Andy wouldn't have got to know each other, and I wouldn't have met all these other folks that I call family now. So it's important that you show up, It's important you show up. So what do you think about this question? Do you believe you can change your destiny? I guess some of y'all do believe that, right? I have an answer. Would you like to hear it? I'm going to tell it to you anyway, so it don't really matter. I'm just trying to be nice. And I used to teach college, and I would ask questions, and I'm used to silence. Most of y'all, I'm not used to y'all looking at me. That's a new thing. Most of them were on their phone and they were sleeping. I think a person does what they can do until their destiny is revealed to them. And I think the most important part of that is what you can do. What you can do. What can you do? Well, the price of success comes with the exchange of the sacrifice you're willing to make. But sacrifice doesn't just happen. You have to decide to make a sacrifice. What is a decision? A decision gives you permission to be deliberate with your life. But what is being deliberate? Deliberate means that you're dedicated, and that means you're pursuing something. You're pursuing a goal. But you also got to be intentional within that pursuit. You got to be laser focused within the pursuit. But what is a pursuit? Pursuit is two things: passion and ambition. What is passion? Well, me and Andy wrote this book about the 8 core values and the 32 behaviors that we expect of you as being part of this family, this culture. And one of them is excellence. And I defined excellence as going beyond the expectation, but it's also getting up every day with passion. And passion is something to prove. You get up every day with something to prove. Ambition. This is the one that's a struggle for everybody in this room. I have these little calls that I do every week. I have about 18 of them. Most of them are at night, and some of you guys are on them. We call them accountability calls. And we also call them community Zooms because we created a community on that call. It's a coming together, right? And we love each other on those calls. And we report our numbers. I'm sort of like Weight Watchers. I'm the scale. I sort of use a little, I don't have any way I can't write you a demerit, so I kind of like shame you. You know, it's like public shaming a little bit. It's done in it's from the heart, right? It's from the heart. But I get a lot of people in there, and I encourage you, if you have some folks that are struggling and they want to try to write some apps, and put them on the calls. I'll get them writing apps. But I hear a lot of stories about how, hey, I'm struggling getting one app. I'm struggling getting 3 apps a week. And I think it's because of this ambition thing. I think it's an issue. Leads. It's leads. Lead is a seed. You should have never said that to him. He's never going to let that go. And it's funny because me and Andy do a lot of presentations together. We play off each other. And I'm the only one that gets up to speak, and we do it together even though I'm up here. But that's all right. It's all right. I love Andy. We have like a brother relationship. So I'm standing here for a reason. I look like I'm about to run or something. But this is ambition. And the problem with ambition is, and this is going to sound really contradictory to a lot of things we've heard, but I believe in dreaming. I believe that you should have a goal. But if that goal is way the heck over here, there's too much gap between your ambition and a result, we got a problem. So what I do is I try to close that gap for these new people on the call. Don't tell me that you're going to write 10 in a week when you ain't wrote 1. 1 leads to 2. 2 leads to 3. You know, I think about the 3 C's when I go through this. Hey, so right here, the ambition, I'm going to make a commitment. I get a lot of commitments. Most of them are idle promises, but I get a lot of commitments. People making commitment to me. And I'm like, quit telling me what you're going to do and just do something. That's why I ask everybody, have you wrote an app yet? They go, I'm going partner. I'm like, hey, can you write an app before you go partner? Please, you're driving me crazy. But then halfway through this journey, the second C appears. And this is where they start doing the Michael Jackson, all right? You know it, Terry. You know you do. All right, this is the consistency stage. See, I'm not about volume, Joe. On these calls, I'm about consistency. I don't want to hear somebody that did 10 in 1 week and we celebrate that and then they ghost me for 2 months. You know? I'd rather have like 2 a week than 10 in 1 month because I want consistency. But when they get to consistency, they find out this is what this is about. This is mundane. This is boring. I'm like, yeah, you got to fight through that because at the end of where this result is the third C. It's completion. Please write me an app. This is where the app is, okay? Over here, you do the Michael Jackson and you start backing up. When you hit consistency, you start backing up. You go right back to, let me tell you about all my dreams. I got dreams, Jeff. I got a lot of dreams. And I'm back. I know I've been gone a while. I'm not making fun of y'all that told me that the last 2 days. I'm really not. I love all of y'all. You know that. It comes from the heart. I don't have any malice. Okay. All right. So, look, I've got a presentation today, and I'm going to go through it as quick as I can. Make sure that you get the nuts and bolts, because I am a teacher, like Jane. Once a teacher, always a teacher. All right, we're going to look at this formula here. And don't get so crazy on me like, okay, I'm writing all these notes down. I'll give you the darn presentation. I don't care. You know, any of you want to get it, I'll get it to you, right? But I'm going to break these into 4, so you'll see them again in the presentation. But I just want to kind of like show you what we're talking about. And this is where this special coin comes in. And Andy didn't tell me to get up here and sell this coin. I mean, I really like this coin. I mean, the man came up with this years ago, and I don't know if he knew how magical it was, but it's really good. It's a really good coin. So, and there's one side that says, what do you want? And the other side says, how do you get it? Which side is the toughest one? It ain't what do you want. I get people telling me what they want all day long. How you get it is when you fight through consistency and get consistency. You fight through and don't do the Michael Jackson on me. How do you get it? It's where the rubber meets the road. That's where we get completion. That's the hard side of this thing, because it says on that side, I believe, do the do. See, once you get past this second C, you're now doing the do. You're an actual agent. You think you're an agent because you passed the test. You got to get past this point. Then you're a real agent. All right, so I'm not going to talk about how do you get it, because I'm not an expert on that. We got plenty of people that spoke this weekend about how to get it. I'm going to talk about what do you want. And it's up here. It's up here on this slide. You just can't see it. It's invisible to you right now, but I'm going to point it out to you. So here's how this goes. If you want more time, you got to get a big desire, because time is created with desire. When you want something real bad, time starts to stand still. You find time to do the stuff you want to do. And that is, my friends, the what do you want. See, what do you want is just the beginning of the discussion of this side of the coin. There is a process that you must go through, and I'm showing it to you today. The desire, it creates time. That desire is the what do you want. But you can't have desire unless you got a real good reason. Got to have a real good reason. So what comes before what do you want? Where's the reason in this? That's when I have a discussion with the agents about what do you need. But I'm going to be real clear about this. Just because you want something doesn't correlate in you doing anything. Just because you need money to pay your bills don't mean you're going to do activity. So we got to go further back. We got to go pull the layers of the onion all the way to the core. Reason comes from willingness. And willingness is not what you want, not what you need, but what you are going to do, what you have to do. As Megan Wood talks about it, she's in a have-to mentality. She tries to get her people in a have-to mentality all the time. But that have-to mentality, that willingness, comes from making a choice. Andy talked about it. Mark talked about it. It's all on you. You got to make a choice. Until you decide that you want to write apps, you ain't going to write apps. You're just not going to do it. So that's what this is about. I'm going to go through it pretty fast here, all right? I hope y'all good with this? All right. So the power of choice. Power of choice. The first thing is, we're going to the top. Make a choice, and it makes you become willing. Willing to do what? To make stuff a priority. That's when you start to put a schedule together early on. The schedule is the goal. Bell will tell you that. A schedule is everything in this business. That is the secret weapon, is the schedule. Ryan Blair said, if it's not a priority, you'll find a way. If it's a priority, you'll find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. So how do you get people to make stuff a priority? They've got to find urgency. You got to create urgency. And you try to light a fire under people's rear end. But until they perceive what they're going after is important to their life, they're not going to get urgent. Therefore, they're not going to make a choice. Therefore, they're not going to be willing. And the moral, I'll read this. The moral I wrote here. I don't know why I wrote this, but I think it sounds good. You can't change the last breath you just took, but you can change your future story through making your schedule and through priorities. That I do know for certain. I do have a funny slide to talk about this. I don't know if y'all know this man. He's real irritating. He's real irritating. Some of y'all know Napoleon Dynamite? Yeah, that's Uncle Rico. You know what I hate about Uncle Rico? He's living in the freaking past. He's a grown man still worrying about what happened in high school and that he didn't get in the championship game. And he's telling you right here, I bet I can throw this football over them mountains over there. And that's what I hear down here when these people are talking to me about what they want. They're trying to throw a football over a mountain. I just want you to throw it through a hoop right in front of you, maybe like 10 feet in front of you. And then we'll move to the next hoop. Quit telling me you're going to throw something over a mountain. It ain't going to happen. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Just do it. Just do it. Now, I love this quote. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying small stones away. That's what I want you to do. Quit telling me about how you're going to go partner and write me one app today, one tomorrow. Move some small stones and quit telling me about how you're going to move a mountain. Move the stones. Get consistent. All right, let's go to the next one. All right. So if you're recruiting, I've got a question that you can explore with people, and you can ask them if they're willing. And here it is. At this point, I'm just going to give you 4 questions throughout this presentation. How would you do it if you were motivated? Well, that insinuates that they're not motivated. Yeah, but I'm saying, let's pretend that you were going to make a schedule. What would it look like? People love to pretend. They'll pretend all day long. I get them to pretend. That's my lead-in question when I'm interviewing somebody. Okay? All right, let's go to the next line. Whoop. Willingness creates a reason, and a reason sets an expectation. All right. Y'all, I got a slide here coming up. There it is. Whoop. Bill Murray don't want to stay on the stage. Y'all know this movie, right? Groundhog's Day. You heard of it? Yeah. It's a good movie. I've watched it a lot. There's a lot that can be learned from this movie. By the way, this guy that's got this quote, Bill Crawford, he is, if you always ask me, what books do I read? See, I read all these textbooks. I got all this stuff before it got to Barnes & Noble. I read it way back in the day. I read the original authors, right? This guy right here is the real deal. He is my favorite author. His books will help you. He is a psychiatrist. I'm not saying some of y'all need a psychiatrist, but I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm a sociologist. So if you want to go that route, go talk to Bill Crawford. You can order his books, and he can help you. Better yet, you could go see a psychiatrist. But if you refuse to do that, I love Bill Crawford. Sometimes our ability to accept what we can't change is tied to our willingness to change what we can. What is he talking about there? Here's something that maybe you've heard before, but this is what I believe. I can't move an agent by getting them to look way out in the future. I can't move an agent by showing them all the rewards that they're going to get if they do the do. People run away from pain faster than they run toward gain. They run away from pain. I'm going to talk about what's happening right here between commitment and trying to get to consistency is some pain they're not letting go of. I'm going to tell them if they do the do, the pain will go away. I'm not going to tell them what they can buy in the future. I'm going to tell them what they can leave behind in the past. That's how I'm going to move them. Does that make sense? Get people to accept what they can't change, their past pain, so they'll be willing to run toward what they can change and get that gain. The moral is, looking at this screen, stop letting your groundhog, your pain, drive your car. In other words, be the writer of your own story. Be your own miracle. Quit waiting for a miracle right here. You are the miracle. You look in the mirror every day, and that's the problem. You're just looking in the mirror. You're not seeing yourself. You're looking at all the bad things. I see all the wrinkles. I see all the things that's going on as I age. But I see past that. I see the potential that I got one more shot. I got, as Andy would say, one more day. Quit looking at yourself and start seeing yourself. Be the author of your own story. Yeah. And some of you have let that groundhog drive your car. I mean, that's your Uber driver. All right, reason. This is my question to explore reason. The next question. Why should it happen for you at this time? See, I've got them to pretend that they had a schedule. Now I'm going, hey, why now is the light shining down on you and this is the time that you should decide to do this? Why? See, I'm trying to lead the witness, and they don't know it. Now, all of you now know it, so I've just given away all my tricks right here, but that's what I do. This is what I'm walking you through. I'm trying to find out, why now? Why'd you come to me now? Why are you getting on my call now? Why now are you willing to change? That's the next question I ask. All right, let's move to the next one. All right, so reason creates desire. And I got a slide for that. I think the next one. Now, I don't want to make y'all mad with this quote. I'm not trying to make you mad because I didn't write it. Fred Rogers wrote it. He's my hero. I love Mr. Rogers. But he's saying, Doc, you help me on this now. He's saying, Jesus done all he's going to do. You got to be a good follower. Is that right? He's put the roadmap in front of us. What you going to do? Quit telling me what everybody else is going to do. Tell me what you're going to do. See, I'm going to try something, and I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know if this is a good idea. After playing pickleball with Mike Garrett, he's 32 and I'm 61. I might not be able to. I'm like Andy. We lay down. We didn't get up. Not quick. This is a weird feeling. I'm going to tell you that right now. I like it down here, though. It's good for my back. Hey, look. I'm doing this to demonstrate something. It's not for anything else. All right. We're all broken. Do y'all agree? We're all broken. But there's two kind of broken people. Functional broken and dysfunctional broken. Functional people, well, let me start up. Dysfunctional people will stay down. They live in their past. They don't want to trust the present, so they'll never know the future. They stay down. When they get knocked down, they stay down. And they wallow in this pity party down here. But I love this line. It's how I live my life. I love this song by Duran Duran. I love it. I love it when he wrote it about his friend who died and he misses his friend. Life is just life. It's an ordinary life. You got to make it exciting. You got to try to power through the mundane. In those lyrics, he said, "But I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world somehow I have to find." You got to power through your pain to find that world. And as I try to make it to that ordinary world, I will learn to survive. And I'm going to tell you what that means. As a functional human being that I am, I ain't going to stay down here. I am not going to stay down here. It's beginning to be a really bad place. I don't like it. Really don't like it. I'm telling you guys, out there in the dark, I know some of you are in dark, you're in pain. There's a beckoning candle. But as Axl Rose said, it's hard to hold that candle in the cold November rain. So get out of the rain. And I'm telling you, while I can still think on this earth, and while I can still talk, and while I can still stand, and while I can walk, one more step, one more round, one more punch, you got to stay in the fight. That's what I learned from Andy Albright. That's what I learned. I was a broken person when I came to him. He didn't know that, but he taught me to be a functional broken person and to get my ass up off the ground. Here's a question you could ask these broken people.
That's a great question.
What could happen if you went all out? What would happen? I mean, some of you are scared. I had a guy that I played football with, and he was scared to score a touchdown. He didn't know what would happen after he scored a touchdown. He's like, they'll expect me to do another one. I don't know how that's going to feel to be in the end zone. I'm like, you're on to the next play, brother. Don't sit there and celebrate. Hand the ball to the referee. We're on to the next play. Quit living in your past glories. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm doing good here. Desire. This is quite emotional for me to talk about this because this is the movie Mark likes. Right there. Do y'all know this scene from Shawshank Redemption? It didn't always say that at the beginning. Look at that quote. That's not the quote that the movie starts off with. The movie starts off by saying when he's in there and he's around these people and he's associating with these people that have given up hope, it starts off, hope is a dangerous thing, my friend. It can kill a person. It can kill a person that's staying down. But if you get up, hope is a good thing. Maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. That is called the Hope Tree. It is in Lucas, Ohio. It is a place, is a real place. And in the movie, that's where he made the statement. You know this statement. You either make a choice of getting on with living, or you make a choice to get on with dying. It's a good slide. I've always wanted to go there. People get married there. People get baptized there. People go there because it represents hope. It represents hope. I tell you what. We have to swim towards something, and then hope will spur you along. But you got to start swimming and to activate your hope. Hope begins in the dark. And you can't wish your way out of the dark. Hope is a good thing because hope means you still believe. Wishing means you have given up. You don't believe anymore. You're playing the lottery at this point. Here's my question, and a lot of you make a mistake and start off asking this question to the recruit right off the bat. So when are you going to get started? You got to court them a little bit with the 3 questions that we just talked about. There's all 4 together. See, I go in that order. How would you do it if you were motivated? Why should it happen for you right now? What could happen if you went all out? And, hey, when are we going to get started? Hey, when y'all going to get on my calls? Open invitation. Call me. 336-247-9907, and I'll put you on a call, and I'll try to change your life. 336-247-9907. I'm going to end with this. This is where This is a little bit confusing, but it's real. And look, I don't play the part of a sociologist. I am a sociologist. This ain't something that I just read in a book. I got degrees in this. I ain't bragging. I ain't never got up here and told you, but I got a lot of degrees. I'm a smart man. Right, Eddie? Stop trying to be what you're supposed to be and start trying to be what you want to be through becoming comfortable in who you are. Get comfortable in your own skin. Quit looking at yourself. Start seeing yourself. But here's the key. By embracing who you were. All this crap that you drag around with you from your past is valuable. It's valuable because it made you who you are today in this room. You can't get rid of it until you embrace it, until you accept it. We can't change it. But you know what I do? I do what Mr. Rogers taught me to do. Mr. Rogers, at this point in the conversation, he said, you want strength? You want to overcome stuff? You remember the people in this room, maybe not in this room, people that have passed away, they are still in your life. They're still there. So, I got 4 minutes. This only takes about 3. So I'm going to read it to you. And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you to do something for me, and I hope you'll be okay with it. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes in a few minutes for 1 minute. And I'm going to time you. Okay? And I'm going to try to read this. These are not my words. It's Mr. Rogers. Okay. From the time you were very little, you have had people that smiled you into smiling, people that have talked you into talking, sung you into singing, loved you into loving. The greatest gift you can give others is the gift of your honest, transparent self. As Doc said, to love on people. Who in your life has been such a servant for you in your life? Who has helped you love the good that grows within you right now? Let's close our eyes for 1 minute. Okay? And I'm going to time it. I'm looking at the clock right here. Some of them might be right here today. Some may be far away. And some may be even in heaven. Can you see those people? Can you see their faces? Can you see how they have made a difference in your life? Just imagine, think about them. How pleased those people would be that you've thought about them and we're thinking about them right now. No matter where they are, deep down, you know they've always wanted what was best for you. They've always cared about you beyond measure and have encouraged you. They've always been true to you and wanted the best for you. Now open your eyes. Can I ask you who you were thinking about? I was thinking about my mom, and my mom's still alive. My dad's passed. I'd like you right now for a moment, because I don't think they ever go away. I don't think they ever go away if we keep remembering who they are. Because there's strength in those people. I didn't even know my second great-grandfather, my third great-grandfather, but I've seen pictures of them, and I see resemblance, and I see their handwriting. There's something about that DNA. They're still with me. All I have to do is ask for them to come and be with me, and they're with me on this stage today. I would like, in a count of 3, everybody say the name of the person that you're thinking about. I'm Jeff Bright. I appreciate y'all having time with me today.